like and subscribe, and leave a comment below. The Bond of the Wild. In a small wooden cart drawn by a tired old horse, B.N.Rocker sat between his parents. They were traveling to a new home, a fresh start after years of hardship. Aiden, 10 years old, clung to his mother's hand as he looked up at the starry sky. Suddenly, the silence was shattered by the thunder of hooves. Bandits emerged from the shadows with their faces masked in wolf-like headdresses. Aiden's father tried to resist, but the bandits were ruthless. They struck him down without mercy, then turned their weapons on his mother. Aiden screamed, with tears streaming down his face as he watched his parents die. The bandits ransacked the cart, taking everything of value. One of them noticed Aiden, crouched in fear at the edge of the road. With a cruel laugh, he grabbed the boy by his shirt and threw him into the dirt. No witnesses, he declared, but as he raised his weapon, another bandit stopped him. "Leave him. He's a child," the second bandit said. Reluctantly, the first bandit lowered his weapon, and the group disappeared into the night, leaving Aiden alone, trembling and sobbing beside the bodies of his parents. Hours passed. The moon climbed higher in the sky. Aiden lay on the ground, exhausted from crying, his body shivering from the cold. Just as he began to drift to sleep, he felt a presence. He opened his eyes to see a pair of glowing eyes staring at him from the darkness. Aiden's heart skipped a beat as the creature stepped into the moonlight, revealing itself. It was a massive cat-like beast with sleek, grayish fur that shimmered under the moon's glow. Horns curved gracefully from its head, and it stood 4 times the size of a man. He thought he was a goner, but the beast did not attack. It approached slowly. Aiden watched, frozen in place, as the creature came closer and gently nudged him with its massive paw. There was a strange warmth in the beast's touch, a silent communication that eased his fear. With tears still wet on his cheeks, Aiden reached out a trembling hand. The beast lowered its head, allowing the boy to touch its soft fur. In that moment, a bond was formed, a connection that would change both their lives forever. Aiden followed the beast, whom he named Grell. Grell led Aiden to a hidden cave, their new home, and taught him the ways of the wild. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. Though Grell could not speak, its actions spoke volumes. Aiden learned to hunt, using traps and spears fashioned from wood and stone. He learned to forage for berries and roots, to recognize the signs of danger, and to build shelters to protect against the elements. Grell was a patient teacher, and Aiden a quick learner. Together they survived and thrived in the wilderness. Years passed. Aiden grew strong and agile, his senses sharpened by the forest's demands. He and Grell developed a silent language of gestures and looks, understanding each other without words. They were a team, each relying on the other for survival and companionship. Aiden often wondered about the world beyond the forest, about the people he had left behind, but every time he considered leaving, the thought of being without Grell was unbearable. The beast was not just a guardian, it was his family, the only family he had left. One crisp autumn day, Aiden and Grell ventured farther than usual, following the tracks of a deer. As they moved through the trees, Aiden heard the faint sounds of laughter and chatter. Curious, he crept closer and saw a village nestled in a clearing. It was the first time he had seen other humans in years. Aiden's heart raced with excitement. He turned to Grell, who nudged him forward with an encouraging push. With a deep breath, Aiden stepped into the open, approaching the village cautiously. The villagers noticed him immediately, with their eyes widening in surprise. A group of children ran to him with their faces full of curiosity. "Who are you?" one of them asked. "I'm Aiden," he replied, smiling nervously. Before he could say more, the adults approached, their expressions wary. Then one of the villagers spotted Grell, who had stayed at the edge of the forest. Aiden's heart sank as he saw fear in their eyes. "Monster!" someone screamed, and panic erupted. The villagers grabbed their weapons, advancing toward the beast. Aiden's blood ran cold. "No, stop!" he shouted, rushing to stand between them and Grell. "He's not a monster. He's my friend." The villagers hesitated, with their weapons still raised. As an elder stepped forward, "Explain yourself, boy. Why are you with this creature?" Aiden took a deep breath. "Grell saved me. My parents were killed by bandits and I was left alone. Grell found me, protected me, and raised me. He's not a threat. He's my family." The elder's eyes softened, but the fear among the villagers was still clear. The beast should leave. The people fear it, and I fear what they will do if it remains. The elder says. Aiden knelt beside Grell, placing a hand gently on the beast's fur. "Grell," he said softly, his voice trembling with emotion, "you've been my guardian, my friend, and my family. But seeing these people, my own kind, makes me realize that maybe it's time for me to be with them, to learn their ways and find my place among humans. And maybe I can be the bridge between our worlds. I want to stay with them, Grell, but I will always carry a part of you and the forest with me." Aiden turned to Grell with his heart breaking. "Go," he whispered with tears swelling in his eyes. Grell hesitated, then began to retreat, but as the beast turned, a villager, driven by fear, released an arrow. It struck Grell in the side, and the mighty creature roared in pain. Without thinking, Aiden threw himself in front of Grell, shielding the beast with his own body. "You don't understand. He's not a monster." The villagers froze. The elder stepped forward again and said, "Perhaps he was too hasty, but you must understand, boy, he was only protecting his home." Aiden's heart ached. He turned to Grell, gently touching the beast's fur where the arrow had struck. "I'm sorry," he whispered. "They're scared." Grell's eyes, filled with pain, met Aiden's. The bond between them, forged in the crucible of survival, was unbreakable. Aiden knew what he had to do. The elder spoke again, his voice softer. "Perhaps we were wrong, but the forest is no place for a boy." Aiden shook his head, tears streaming down his face. "The forest is my home. Grell is my family. Civilization has its place, but so does the wild. It's clear to me now. I belong with Grell." The villagers watched as Aiden and Grell disappeared into the trees, their forms blending with the shadows. Aiden had made his choice. He understood that true freedom lay not in the confines of human society, but in the boundless embrace of nature and friendship. Aiden and Grell continued their journey through the wilderness, their bond stronger than ever. Aiden grew into a man of the wild, his heart beating in rhythm with the forest. He often thought of the village and the people he had met. They were not his enemies, but their ways were not his. Aiden had found his place in the world, alongside his best friend and guardian. The forest was his home, and in its vast, untamed beauty, he discovered the true essence of freedom and belonging. Aiden and Grell remained a symbol of the wild, a reminder that true freedom could be found in the most unexpected places and that love and loyalty knew no bounds. They lived together in the forest, their hearts forever entwined in the bond of the wild. This is not goodbye, nor the end. Until the story continues, my friends, B.N.Rocker.